Hello to the world of KOSMEK. Thank you very much for today's participation in our webinar about the introduction of the quick change coupler products in a range of injection molding machines and die casting machines. My name is Nicolai Kruller and I will guide you through today's webinar. In the next 20 minutes, you will hear and learn about the company KOSMEK. You will see how the various quick change coupling products can have an impact on your injection molding or die casting machines, and you will experience the benefits of KOSMEK quick change coupling products based on a short application example. Some organizational points up first. You will find this presentation as a downloadable video at www.kosmek.eu, as well as on a YouTube channel from KOSMEK Europe. You can ask us questions directly via the Q&A box or the messenger from Zoom directly. Depending on how much questions we get, we try to answer them at the end of this session. For any other belongings, please contact us directly at kosmek@kosmek.eu. KOSMEK is the world's leading expert in powered clamping. Due to the limitation from Japanese car manufacturers to 70 bars maximum pressure 40 years ago, KOSMEK developed one of the most innovative technologies for pneumatic and hydraulic work holding solutions like clamping, positioning, and supporting, and also in the ranges of factory automation, quick mold, and quick die change systems. We are with this technology based. Since then, KOSMEK has been a continuous market leader in Asia, and 8 years ago, the increasing demand on KOSMEK patented low-pressure technology brought the company to Europe. And since then, KOSMEK is the only company in the world covering all areas of a workpiece production process. We offer solutions for the casting, injection molding, and for bunches and presses, like, for example, quick mold change systems, the ejector rods for a faster change of the ejector patterns, and positioning for the mold or the die, and pre-rollers for an easier loading and unloading of molds and dies. In terms of work holding, we have, for example, various hydraulic and pneumatic clamps, work supports, and of course, other positioning solutions. In terms of the factory automation, we have like tool changes, pallet changes, and of course, grippers. And because of that, KOSMEK is the only one who can equip the complete production process from the casting to the machining and to the finishing of the assembly of these parts. And in terms of die casting and injection molding, we already had a short look onto the ejector rods and how to reduce the setup time with the help of these products. And today we're going to talk, as already mentioned, about the different ejector rods and coupler components. And how are you able to reduce the complete cycle time with the help of the ejector couplers and rods? Here, KOSMEK comes into the game, and we want to now have a closer look to the different coupling products. For that, I want to start with a short overview of the different types and areas where the ejector couplers are used. So here we have a short overview regarding the injection molding area, ejector couplers and rods, and in terms of die casting. So as you can see in the injection molding area, we have the possibility to use the ejector rods, and additional to that, of course, the ejector couplers, which are connecting the ejector rods and the ejector platen. And additional to that, two components, we have the center pullback, the PMD, which also connects the ejector plate to the couplers and to the rods. In terms of the die casting area, we have two different ejector coupler types. We would have the complete on the spring-loaded and with air released ejector coupler, the PMF, and with an additional action confirmation sensor. And we have the manual ejector coupler, the PMG, which is connected and disconnected from the ejector plate just by pressing this little manual switch on the back. So it enables us to standardize the process or operation steps with the help of these ejector couplers and ejector rods just by a simple button operation onto the machine. So you can reduce the operation time as well as the complete cycle time due to a faster connection and disconnection. And everything can be accomplished by a simple button operation without having the risk of getting injured or a malfunction inside of the machine. And now let us start with the ejector rods, the PME, for this webinar. The ejector rod itself has been divided into a base rod and an attachment rod. The reason, therefore, is simplicity, the ease of use, and the speed when we are changing of the ejector patterns. We don't need any more tools, which allows us for changes in mere seconds. The main benefits of using the PME manual ejector rods are they are very easy to use. You just pull out the ejector rod and put it back in to arrange the new ejector pattern. There are no more tools required for changing of the ejector patterns. And since they are light and safe, they are therefore highly reliable due to the simple structure and due to the simple design of these manual ejector rods. To have a little bit look into the ejector plate setup, I want to show you this screenshots here, and we are coming into a video later on. So as we have already seen, we just need to move the ejector plate fully forward. We need to pull out the attachment rods manually without the help of the tools, and we are able to arrange them in a new pattern, which allows us for change in mere seconds. And now let us have a look at this application example on how fast we are able to reduce the setup times or the ejector rod pattern time with the help of KOSMEK ejector rods. So just, you can see here the setup for these ejector rods change. So as we have already started, we are already seeing how fast the KOSMEK quick ejector rods pattern is changed. We only need 7 seconds. And as we can see on the other side, for a general rod, we need to unscrew it with the hex driver. Then we need to screw it out with hands. And once more, we need to lock it with the hex driver. So which means we need at least 2 minutes and 31 seconds to complete the ejector pattern setup, which means you just need 10 seconds without any tools to reduce the setup time of the ejector patterns, which is able to do with just a single hand operation from your operator. Now coming back to the webinar. For the reason we talked about the ejector rods first is because the ejector rods are getting connected by the ejector couplers to the ejector plate. So now we're coming to the ejector couplers, the PMCs for the injection molding machines. It connects the ejector plate and the ejector rods just by a simple button operation. We do not need any more tools to connect them, which results in the setup time reduction and the product improvement due to a more stable clamping of the ejector rods, which also results, of course, in a cycle time reduction with the help of our ejector couplers. For the ejector couplers, I want to have a short look onto our website and how we are to get a little bit more into the detail how the website is working from KOSMEK. So here we can see this is the landing page of the ejector couplers and how we are going to come to this landing page. Let's start from the home let's start in the home menu of KOSMEK website. Here you can see you can search by keyword. You just type in PMC. You here have the result for it. Once more, click onto it, and we are here in the product information page of it. So once more, we have already faced one touch to connect the ejector rods to the couplers, which results in a setup time reduction. Here you can see the automatic connection of the couplers, which are mounted here. And here is the extrusion plate and the ejector rods, which are getting connected just by simply getting together. And for that, let us have a quick look onto the catalog, which we can just open here on our website. So, ejector couplers and center pullback. Center pullback we will face after this little check regarding the catalogs. So, let me make it a bit smaller. So here you can see the catalog page for our injection molding ejector couplers and the center pullback. We're able to just check here the different parts, the different connection methods, the different benefits which these products can offer. And here we can see the right model number indication for these components, small external dimensions of these components, which accessories there are available, and of course we have some information how to work with them, how to make the maintenance, and how the warranty is functioning. So all that you can simply check on our website, and you find everything basically in the catalog itself. And if you need help for the right model number indication, please feel free to come to us, and we will check with you all together what is the right specification for your ejector couplers, or in this case, center pullback. And for the center pullback, let us have a short introduction to this product. It is used to automatically connect to the ejector plate or extrusion plate, which allows you to reduce the setup times drastically. The compact body enables you to reduce additional weight, and plus with the floating function of the component, we are able to smoothly connect and disconnect the extrusion plates, the ejector couplers, and the ejector rods. The smooth floating function also enables you to overcome slight tolerance changes, so that no malfunction or damage is happening while we are connecting the ejector plates and ejector rods. This means you are more free when designing of the ejector plate, not a C plate in times of die casting machines. So which type is floating? When we are in a connected state, you can see here the pull bolt, which is connected to the center pull-back main body. This pull bolt is attached to the ejector plate. Once we are connecting this pull bolt to our once we are connecting the ejector plate to the center pullback, we have a slight floating function which allows us to overcome slight tolerance changes, and with that we are able to smoothly connect or unconnect the ejector plates. And for the center pullback, we also have already seen the catalog and how we get to the catalog based on our website. Now we want to change to the die casting area, and first with the ejector couplers, the PMF. So once more, we divided these parts into two parts, the main body and the plug or socket side, as we call it. This type is released by air pressure and is getting locked by a spring. This means when supplying pressure, the steel balls, which we can see here, go back inside the main body and can move freely since the piston is getting pushed out, getting pushed back. When we are back in the position, so we are on top of this and are right at the time to connect these couplers, we reduce or we stop supplying the pressure to the release port, and the internal spring pushes the piston forth, and therefore the steel bars are getting pushed out and pushed inside of this tapered or straight surface. So once more, the benefits are it is easy to use. We do not need any more tools for changing this light and safe. Due to the simple structure, it is highly reliable, and we are able to use a single button operation outside of the machine for connecting and unconnecting. So to get a little bit deeper into how this is connected and how this works, I want to show you the following cut view. As we can see here, since we divided the rods and couplers into two parts, the socket and the plug side, we were able to connect even more, and we are able to connect even more easy than with general ejector units. Now let us have a look at how this is accomplished. When supplying pressure, the steel bars are free to move, since, as we can see here, the piston is getting pushed out. The steel bars are inside of these surfaces, so they can move flexibly, and we can unlock, or we can release the socket side from the plug side. When we are supplying pressure, if we stop supplying pressure, still this internal spring is pushing the piston back, and At the plug side, we can see here, we have a small surface which is straight in this case. So here we have the straight surface. The piston is getting pushed back, the steel bores are getting pressed into these straight surfaces, which generates high forces so that we are safe against the disconnection due to higher forces. This means we are a more secure connection to the extrusion or the ejector plate, and therefore we are able to be safely connected. And this structure is basically the same in the couplers for the injection molding area, since it is very, very similar from die casting to injection molding machines. Now, coming from the ejector coupler, the PMF, to the manual ejector coupler, the PMG, which is fairly new in the range of KOSMEK. With the help of these manual ejector couplers, you are able to connect ejector rods and the ejector plate once more, but now with a simple push onto this manual switch back here. Here we are able to reduce the complete setup time at about a half with the help of these manual ejector couplers. For better understanding, once more, let us have a look at the website. So here, as we already have encountered, if you are at the home screen from the KOSMEK website, you just type in the PMG for manual ejector couplers, you get the result, you click onto the result, and you are on this page. So it is able to reduce the setup times in half. So let us have a look at the current method. In general, the ejector rods and the ejector plate are connected by a double nut, but this takes a lot of time to tighten and untighten to change of the ejector plate. Now, with our manual ejector plate, it enables a one-touch connection of the ejector rod and the plate with the help of this manual switch. When we are pressing the switch, the steel bores are getting back into the main body, are free to move. Once we let the manual switch out, the steel bores are getting pushed outside due to the internal spring inside, and we're able to connect or disconnect just with this button operation or manual switch operation on the manual ejector coupler. So by pushing the manual switch, the steel bores becomes free to move, so it is able to pull out the plug, as I already have told to you. So here we can see this part of the ejector rod. It is connected to the mold side via the ejector rod. So the mold side needs no modification at all when using the manual ejector couplers from KOSMEK. And additional, you also can see here the featured recommendations. If you, let's say, equip a die cast machine, maybe you need a core pull or core push cylinder for a faster cycle time for each shot. So you also get here some of the recommendations what KOSMEK can do. So now coming back to our presentation, we want to now face the benefits of ejector couplers in the die casting and in the molding area. Here we can see a quick comparison between a manual or an automated ejector rod connection. In terms of loading and unloading, we can see the difference very clearly, I would say. In the loading field or in the unloading field, you need at least 362 seconds, or in other words, 6 minutes, while you only need a single second with the help of the KOSMEK automated coupling systems. Look at it that way. You need to start by unscrew the nuts for locking or unlocking of the mold end of the die, and then you need to change the ejector rod setup. Everything is done by hand so far. And with the help of KOSMEK, you just push one button and everything starts to release or to lock, and you're able to take out or to set up the new mold or workpiece, which means you can improve the work efficiency of die casting or injection molding machines. You can reduce complete operations or setup times. It enables the operator for a more secure operation, and you are able to standardize the operation due to a single button operation. And everything will be locked with the needed forces, and no malfunction is happening or injuries can happen due to bad working conditions. For another point, I want to slightly go back to our website and show you another interesting information. So let's go back. We are coming back to our manual ejector rods, the PMG. Then we go to the catalog. Let us go a little bit on top, back to our ejector couplers, the PMF for the die casting area. And there we have a nice little overview. As I've already said, the mode change reduction time from 362 to 387. And here you can see how we are simplifying these complete connections. For the manual operation, you need to tighten the ejector rods, you need to tighten the nuts of the mold, and then you can start to the ejector plate moving backward and opening. Now, simple button operation, it takes 1 second to unconnect or connect the ejector plate, and therefore we can reduce the complete setup times and cycle times with the help of the ejector couplers from KOSMEK. For today, thank you very much for all of your time and participation in today's webinar about the introduction of the different quick change coupling solutions from KOSMEK. It was a pleasure for me to host this webinar series of KOSMEK, and we will now take a short break of the series. I will hopefully come back to you once more, and for that time, please stay safe. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Till the next time into the KOSMEK webinar series. I wish you all the best, and now bye-bye, and see you the next time.